understand the importance of doing so. In its first year of the program, we were honored to have 114 Florida schools participate. And just last month, the governor announced that we have an additional 73 schools. So today I'm happy to be here to recognize your very own Rutherford High School, which has earned that distinction, the Purple Star School of Distinction designation, because as I mentioned, the amount of impact that this program can have on students that are perhaps coming into this community, have never been a Floridian. We have so many people moving to Florida, but we're excited to see military families in particular come to Florida. We want them to feel welcomed. And we also understand that more than 2 million families, military children, have had one or both of their parents deployed since 2001. So it's critically important that our schools understand those challenges, those unique challenges that they're facing. And I think that's one of the reasons why this Purple Star School of Distinction designation is so important. And we're so thrilled to see more and more schools participate each and every year. And just really briefly about the program, in order to earn that designation, you are required as a school to designate a faculty member as a military liaison to directly support those families. You update your school website with information and resources. You offer a student-led transition program to assist those students when they come to the school, expanding staff professional development training opportunities on issues relating to military students, and reserving controlled open enrollment seats for military-connected students to utilize and to be able to ensure school choice opportunities are available to them regardless of the time of year. We know military transfers can take place at any point. They don't necessarily align with the school year, so it's important to understand that that's a year-round commitment. So I, again, want to thank the folks at Rutherford because they've done that and so much more. They're giving military families the resources, the services, and the educational opportunities to succeed. So I just want a round of applause to the entire Rutherford High School community. And I think it's important to note that while this program is incredibly important to us, we know that their commitment goes beyond just this program. We know that they're giving those families the resources and support that they need, and that's not only the teachers, the students, but the entire community that comes together. And whether it's laying remembrance wreaths to honor the service and sacrifice of the fallen, partnering with the Wounded Warrior Project, coming together to decorate local VFWs, posts for the holidays, or providing holiday cards to nearby veterans nursing homes. These students are truly incredible. I know you all know that, especially those of you that deal with them each and every day. But these students are so important, and they're learning to value our freedom, the love of country, and sacrifice. So again, just such an honor to be here. And with that, I'd like to ask Chancellor to come by and say a few words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Nunez, for your continued leadership and for being here today to highlight the important work of our Purple Star schools. And I also want to thank Governor DeSantis for his steadfast commitment to serve and support Florida's military students and families. I also want to take a moment to recognize Superintendent Mark McQueen for his service to our nation as a retired Major General with 36 years of dedicated service in the United States Army. Superintendent McQueen really exemplifies the very spirit of sacrifice and commitment that the Purple Star program was created to honor. I want to thank you and your family for all of your service to our country. I am excited to be here in Bay County today as we celebrate Florida's Purple Star schools. As the Lieutenant Governor said, this program was established in 2021 by the Florida Legislature. And it represents Florida's deep and abiding commitment to our military families. As the Lieutenant Governor said, military families experience a number of unique challenges when it comes to education, the frequent and oftentimes unplanned moves. Families have to adjust to new schedules, new routines. Students have to adjust to new peer groups and new friends and new schools. And what this program was designed to do was to really recognize those schools across the state that recognize and understand those unique challenges and then go the extra mile to ensure that those families are supported. The Lieutenant Governor talked about all the things these schools do. I think one of the things that's really incredible is that they have this dedicated point of contact so that as a military family, as a parent, there is a person that you can always pick up the phone and call and you know is going to be there, is going to understand the challenges that you face as a military family and is going to be able to help to guide and support you through those challenges. And of course, the reason that we are here today is that Rutherford High School, under the leadership of Superintendent McQueen and Principal Mitchell, earned that Purple Star School of Distinction designation for their outstanding commitment and support for military students and families. I also want to recognize not only the school but the district for their system-wide approach to this, ensuring that schools across the district understand those challenges. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that we have 18 schools in Bay County that received that distinction. Under the governor's leadership, we have seen this program continue to grow over the last 2 years. Again, as the Lieutenant Governor said, we now have nearly 200 schools across the state that have been designated with this really prestigious distinction. And it's really a badge of honor for those schools that signifies their willingness to go that extra mile. I'd also like to acknowledge Florida's Purple Star Teacher Leadership Program, which is a program that enables veterans with 4 years of military experience and an associate's degree to get their temporary teaching certificate while they are then earning their bachelor's degree, getting them in the classroom, allowing them to leverage their leadership experience and really impact our students in a very positive way. Just one more example of Florida's commitment to our military families, and one more example of why we are the nation's most military-friendly state in the country. So I will close with just saying the Department of Education will continue to stand by our military families and students in ensuring that they have every resource, support, and opportunity that they deserve. I want to once again thank the Lieutenant Governor for your leadership and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Senior Chancellor Miller. Next, I'd like to ask your superintendent, as I mentioned and was referenced, someone that sacrificed and obviously served this country honorably, also serves as superintendent now. I know you have a long history of service in your government as well here in Bay County. But in addition, I just found out earlier today he's also a train conductor. So I think that we have someone that's extremely talented and would love for him to come up and share a few words. Thank you.
All aboard? There we go. The Polar Express. Lieutenant Governor Nunez, thank you so much for taking your time to come down here to Panama City, Bay County to share in this recognition. Chancellor Miller, thank you so much for all your leadership in the Department of Education. Certainly Dr. Mitchell and what you do here at Rutherford High School, and certainly Jackson, thank you for what you stand for and what you do each and every day as a student and as a cadet, and certainly you epitomify and typify all the other students that are here at Rutherford. So thank you so much. You know, I'll tell you, it's been a great honor to also recognize our board members, with retired Navy Captain Chris Moore. Right here we have board member Winston Chester and board member Jerry Register that are here, and I want to thank them for their leadership and what they do to help support our community's education efforts and initiatives. You know, this administration with Governor DeSantis and Lieutenant General, I'm glad to promote you, or demote you, I'm sorry, but Lieutenant Governor Nunez is an administration of epitomizing servant leadership. They put everyone else first, and they sacrifice their time and efforts to be able to support our state and certainly our communities and our schools. They have a clear vision of where the state is going and what we're doing, and clearly a commitment to education, and in this case, an impeccable commitment to our military. You know, as an Army brat, when my dad, 30 years in the Army, it was back in the day when Vietnam era where the mantra was, if the Army intended you to have a family, they would have issued it to you. Well, you know, that is not how we want our military to be, to have issued families. We have, the strength of our nation is really not just our military, but is the backbone of our military are our families. And for me, I was talking about Army families, but it's all of our military families because they have incredible sacrifices. As an Army brat, I moved to 10 different schools in 12 years. I know the challenges that students face in this very nomadic life of selfless service that military families have. I've experienced it firsthand. And what this vision is of having the Purple Star Schools of Distinction to really meet out and touch those students in their transition times and give them the fullness of education is just extraordinary and remarkable. And I want to thank the governor and lieutenant governor for their leadership in helping to do this. And clearly, I've shared with my teammates before that Representative Maney, who's a retired brigadier general, also a retired circuit judge, was my roommate in Bosnia when we deployed to Bosnia and Sarajevo. And he was the most senior Army leader to ever be wounded in Afghanistan. And through that, even with all of those scars of war, he continued to focus on providing legislation that would have this program come into existence. And it would not have happened had it not been for the incredible leadership and support of our great governor. You know, I'll tell you also, Lieutenant Governor has a heart for military members and families. And her leadership on the holiday letters for heroes is extraordinary, where letters and within Bay District schools, our children are writing letters even as we speak to be able to package them up and to send them to our airmen, our coasties, our soldiers, our sailors, and our Marines, wherever they are in the world. And certainly General Haas and what he's doing here with the Florida Army National Guard is nothing short of extraordinary. And so thank you for having the heart for our military members that are oftentimes feeling like they're forgotten. But your holiday letters for heroes is keeping that connection to wherever they happen to be. You know, I have to tell you, I am so proud of the Purple Star Schools of Distinction, and we have great partnerships with our military teammates that are here, both principally the Air Force and the Navy. And I want to personally acknowledge both Mallory and Aaron, who are our military liaisons from both bases that support the commanders and the command teams there and those families and make those connections. And we couldn't do this without the two of you and what you do to support our military and what you do to link into the Bay District school system. You know, the governor has been here since day one of his tenure in office as our governor, the free state of Florida. And as serving as city manager in Panama City, I saw what he did there and how he poured into the entire ravaged area of Hurricane Michael. And he's never wavered from that in the other events that have happened in this great state. But he continues, even over 5 years after the storm, to continue to support this community. And he's doing that yet again in this budget that you just mentioned, Lieutenant Governor, about commitment to creating a waiver so that the local school district will not have to pay the cost share for our recovery efforts. That's extraordinary, and that could be upwards to $15 million of support to this community and to education. And it will go back into education in our schools because it's all about our students. We talk about it being the tip of the spear is what takes place in the classroom. And that's where everything is focused on, is the teacher and the student. And the shaft of that spear is what gives that tip so much strength and power. And that is being done by our great governor and lieutenant governor and their commitment to this community. So I just want to tell you thank you. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and recognize this great school, Rutherford High School, as well as our other schools, the other 16 schools that have been designated Purple Stars of Distinction, schools of distinction. And under the leadership of Dr. Todd Mitchell, I know that Rutherford High School will continue to soar. Go Rams. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent, and as you could hear his passion, that's a testament to why so many schools have been designated in Bay County. And I can tell you, not every county has a designated school. So our hope is that eventually every county will be represented by this program, but certainly the commitment that you all have, understanding full well the importance of supporting our military. And for those of you that are invested in this program and making sure that they have the support, thank you for that. Next, I'd like to call your principal, Dr. Mitchell, to come to the podium and say a few words.
Good morning, Lieutenant Governor Nunez, Senior Chancellor Miller, Superintendent McQueen, and all of our distinguished guests here from the great state of Florida, welcome to Rutherford High School. It is an honor for us at Rutherford to represent the 17 campuses of Bay District schools who have received the Purple Star School of Distinction designation. And when I first learned of our opportunity to work toward this honor, I didn't give it a second thought. I simply asked, what do I need to do and where do I sign? As a military veteran myself, I understand the unique challenges that face our military families as they transition from base to base and from station to station. In fact, I have 2 active duty sons who I hope can win the Bay County Station Lottery one day soon and be here. Not only is their service and sacrifice a sacrifice for the service members, it is a service and sacrifice for the families and their spouses. So we have a saying here at Rutherford that all means all. And what is meant by that is that every student that darkens our door deserves the same educational opportunity as the next. And that includes the same care to service our individualized educational plans, the same care to rigorous advanced programs like our International Baccalaureate program here at Rutherford, and the same care to provide educational accommodations to those students who may learn a little different than the next. For Rutherford to have a designation that communicates to Tyndall Air Force Base, the Naval Surface Warfare Center, and the U.S. Coast Guard Station that we welcome our incoming soldiers and their families, and we have a plan and a program in place to support them and facilitate their acclimation into our school, was an opportunity that I could not miss out on as an educational leader. I'm grateful to Governor DeSantis, to Lieutenant Governor Nunez for championing this endeavor and allowing Rutherford to make it a reality here on our campus. Out of the 67 school districts in the state of Florida, I am proud to be a part of the one that accounted for 23% of the growth in this year's Purple Star designations. I would also like to give a special thanks to Superintendent McQueen for prioritizing this mission here in our county, for our schools, for our students, and showing our military community that they matter here in Bay County. Bay County is a service member's dream destination. And as a leading employer in Bay County, Bay District Schools is a school district that has a rich history of employing our military spouses, military family members, and to our service members in Bay County, Rutherford High School is open for business. And we welcome you so that we can serve your families in providing a rigorous college and career preparatory educational experience. And I can say on behalf of the other 16 Purple Star schools in our district, our team of teams, thank you for this opportunity. And as always, go Rams.
Thank you so much, Principal Mitchell. Next and lastly, I'd like to welcome your very own classmate, your friend, your student, Jackson Summers. Jackson and I were talking a little bit earlier, and he walked me through his very detailed plan. And as someone that hopes to be in the military very soon, I can tell you he had contingencies. He had all sorts of ideas and thoughts on how he was going to execute. So I have no doubt that he will serve our country well, as he has served right here as an ambassador for Rutherford High School. So Jackson, if you could please come up, and we're honored to have you here with us.
So good morning, everyone. My name's Jackson Summers. I'm a senior here at Rutherford High School. I'm currently, as Lieutenant Governor Nunez said, I'm currently applying to the United States Air Force Academy and concurrently to the United States Naval Academy. My goal is to be a pilot after graduation, and I also have my private pilot's license already with over 470 hours, so that would be my goal outside of the academy. A little bit of background about me and my family. My dad was a F-15C pilot for 25 years, graduated from the Air Force Academy, the class of 1994. So I have some background with military parents and just being in that position of being a military kid. Throughout my time here at Rutherford and throughout the throughout my time here at Rutherford, I've had the opportunity to welcome many students here, many new students. I've had opportunities to guide them to their classes, guide them through the school, and just give them a breakdown of what to expect with all the programs here that a school offers. With the recent designation as a Purple Star School, I believe that that's a great step in the correct direction of giving these students a better opportunity to transition into a new school, and especially with the JROTC program, with our involvement in all of our local events supporting all these military families. I think it's an excellent opportunity to give them a chance to meet people like them that have gone through these moves that they have, and to give them a support group almost so that they don't feel alone when they're here. I believe, once again, that it's a great program, especially with the expansion of Tyndall that is upcoming, with the new military families that will be here, that this program will give an opportunity for them to, once again, not be alone and to have a support group behind them. This program, I believe, is not only just for military kids, it's also for kids transferring from new schools here or sixth graders that are coming into our school, as we can use these resources that are for military kids to bring them into new kids that are transferring here, so that they also don't feel alone and that they have all of these good opportunities for them to have. That's all that's all I have to say. Thank you for inviting me here to speak today, and Lieutenant Governor Nunez, if you have any closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Isn't it wonderful that we get to hear from a student like Jackson that has a love for his country, that wants to serve? And I know that there's probably other students with similar stories right here, but for us it is really a source of pride to have students in Florida that have that passion for service. So thank you, Jackson. I know probably not your favorite thing to have to do, come before a press conference and share your story, but I have no doubt that you'll be very successful. Again, for me, it's really a source of pride to be able to be here, to recognize the school, to be able to stand here on behalf of Governor DeSantis and talk about our support for military and veterans. And I think that's been reflected not only in the budget, but in everything the governor has done. And just recently, in October, I had the opportunity to launch my own initiative, and it's called LG on Mission. And it really is an effort to recognize our administration's historic efforts and our historic approach to military and veterans, but also to continue to find innovative ways and approaches. And there is so much need for our military, our active duty, and their families, that we want to really dig deep and see what are the areas that are perhaps untapped or that we can continue building upon. And I think part of that is directly hearing from our veterans, and I've had the privilege of speaking to many World War II veterans, and I'm going to be doing that a little bit later, and being able to hear their stories. And so many of them, I met a 101-year-old in Monroe County, I met a 100-year-old in the Treasure Coast, and just the amount of history that they have and the legacy of the greatest generation. I think that's something the state of Florida needs to preserve, and we want to work with the legislature in finding unique ways to continue supporting that. So as the superintendent mentioned, as part of that initiative, I was able to work with the Department of Education to do the holiday letters to heroes, and just now they gave me a big stack from Rutherford Middle School, right, the 6th grade through 8th grade, and I can tell you I am so pleased to see so many young boys and girls write to our members that are deployed. Like the superintendent said, they're lonely, they feel forgotten. This time of year can be a challenge, especially if you're serving abroad and on active duty. So it really is heartwarming to see so many students send them letters, and the Department of Education is going to work very closely with all of our districts, and hopefully we'll get so many letters that they'll be bombarded with holiday letters, spreading a little bit of holiday cheer at a difficult time when you're serving. So if you are watching and you want to be a part of this program, we encourage you to write letters. They'll be accepted now up until December 15th. You can mail them to the Department of Education at 325 West Gaines Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 32399. And again, my hope is that so many students will feel compelled to write a letter, just share something about yourself, and tell the service members that you appreciate their service, and that, you know, hopefully God will bless them during this time of year. So again, we're so honored to be here in Bay County. We're so appreciative of the entire leadership here and the work that they do each and every day to make sure our students get a world-class education. And we really do take great pride in being part of this program and designating more Purple Star schools. And our hope is that next year it will continue to grow, and who knows, maybe I'll be back in Bay County announcing another school. So thank you all very much. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and may God bless you.